Hi guys, welcome. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Shana Tova. Happy New Year. Today is the beginning of Rosh Hashanah, starting tonight at sundown. And this year, my daughter and I have been learning a lot about it. We learned all the different traditions, customs, rituals, and lots of other beliefs about Rosh Hashanah. And let me tell you, there is so much to learn. It is so interesting and so fascinating. Honestly, I learned so much and I'm still learning. I have some information to share with you guys. And of course, it's not complete. I'm not Jewish. I was raised Catholic. So this is a first for me. Last year, I started becoming very interested in Judaism, and so much so that I even convinced my husband to allow me to get a menorah for the first time. And I was learning how to say all the Hebrew blessings, and it was a lot of fun. And Evelyn joined in, and it's just interesting to learn about. So I thought I would share some of what I learned with you guys. I hope that you guys might appreciate it and hope you'll stick around. So it's going to be a fairly short live. Um, Later on tonight, I'm going to be putting out a pre-recorded video. So I'm going to try to put together my very first vlog. A vlog, it's supposed to be like a 15 to 20 minute thing or something like that. And it'll be a little presentation of celebrating Rosh Hashanah for the first time. So I'm going to be preparing a traditional Rosh Hashanah meal. It's going to be apple and honey chicken, and something called zimes, or it's thimes. It's a mixture of sweet potatoes, carrots, prunes, dried apricots, and a few other ingredients. I'll definitely share the recipes. And I'm also going to be making a honey cake. So I'm gonna. Hey, Melly, how are you? Welcome. Good to see you, Melly. Happy Rosh Hashanah, Shana Tova. They say Shana Tova meaning a sweet and good new year. And there's so many traditions. I'm sure I won't even be able to cover the half of it, but this is some of what I learned. And if anybody is Jewish or anybody knows about Rosh Hashanah and would like to come up on panel and share, I'd be more than happy to invite you up. Just let me know and I'll drop you the link. Welcome, welcome, everybody. So, Rosh Hashanah is considered the birthday of the universe. And should I say also, most of the information I'll be sharing today comes from Chabad.org. Hey, KK, welcome. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really fascinated. Yeah, and I'm so lucky and blessed. I feel that K Bear's mama said that when it comes time for Ramadan, she's going to come up and share with us about that as well. Very excited. Most of the information I'm going to be sharing today comes from Chabad.org. So that's Chabad.org. And I definitely encourage you guys to check out this site, Chabad.org, for lots of information about Judaism. So Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, it's the first of the high holidays. This is the Jewish New Year. It is the anniversary of the creation of Adam and Eve, and it's a day of judgment and coronation of God as king. A day of judgment. Rosh Hashanah is the birthday of the universe, the day that God created Adam and Eve, and it's celebrated as the head of the new year. Now, That's a very important theme throughout Rosh Hashanah, the head of the new year. And it's something very typical, very common that they say to each other, may you be of the head and not the tail. May you be the head and not the tail. And so that means may you be a leader and not a follower. And a lot of, it's very customary. Some of them, now all different sects of Judaism are different, and they all have a lot of some observances, some differences. A lot of it, some on the Seder plate, on the dinner plate, for Rosh Hashanah, it's customary for some Jews to have a fish head, and then they say to each other, may you be of the head and not the tail. So maybe a leader and not a follower. The day that God created Adam and Eve. Awesome, Millie. That's great. Cool. Very cool. I love it. Welcome, welcome, Millie's children. The birthday of the universe. So September 15th. This year it's September 15th. Rosh Hashanah lasts for 2 nights. It begins at sundown on the eve of Tishrei 1, which is September 15th, 2023, and ends after nightfall on Tishrei 2, which is Hebrew for September 17th, 2023. The central observance of Rosh Hashanah is blowing the shofar. The shofar is the horn, the cleaned horn of a ram, or sometimes some other kosher animal, but usually it's a ram's horn, the shofar, Sohfar, on both mornings of the holiday, except on Shabbat, which is normally done in synagogue as part of the day's services. So this year, Rosh Hashanah falls on Shabbat. Today is Friday, and it's going to be Shabbat. And honestly, for the first time, I'm going to be lighting Shabbat candles tonight. And I hope that, God understands that I do it with much love and much respect towards this different religion, even though I'm Catholic. I'm very, very encapsulated learning about this. And I feel I don't just want to do it to learn. I feel like a yearning to want to do it. So I'm going to. And I had a discussion even with my husband about is it right or wrong, being that it's not our religion. I don't want it to come across as sacrilegious in God's eyes. But I believe that the place in my heart of wanting to do it, where it comes from, I think that it's understood it's coming from a good place. So I am going to do it, yeah. And I'll put it in my vlog that I'll put out. I'll make a vlog and I'm gonna edit it and I'm gonna put it out hopefully later tonight with my honey cake and everything else and the lighting of the candles. So this year, being that it falls on Shabbat, there won't be the blowing of the shofar. The shofar, I guess, would be done in synagogue as part of the day services. The Rosh Hashanah feasts traditionally include the round challah bread. The round challah bread, it has raisins in it, and apples dipped in honey. And we're also going to be doing the apples dipped in honey. I've never even tried apples with honey before, but it sounds delicious, as well as other foods that symbolize our wishes for a sweet new year. Other Rosh Hashanah observances include the candle lighting in the evenings and desisting from creative work. And together with Yom Kippur, which follows 10 days later. So that'll be part of Days of Awe or the High Holidays. Okay. Let me, sorry, get back to my notes. I have all these notes here. Hey, Kimmy Love, welcome. Rosh Hashanah, which translates from Hebrew to mean the head of the year, is one of Judaism's holiest days. The 2-day celebration marks the start of the Jewish New Year and is filled with traditions like eating a round challah and saying prayers near a body of water. Yes. Now, that is something that would take place. I think they said that was either tomorrow, which is Saturday, or Sunday the 17th. That's called Tashlik. Tashlik, Tashlich. Tashlik. And what they do is what it was, they started out, it was customary to write down all of your sins or your shortcomings over the past year. So you would sit down today, I guess on this afternoon, and reflect on your whole past year and think of all the times, not exactly where you sinned, but where you missed the mark, where you could have done better, and also of the times where you could have done good, where you could have done a good deed to help but didn't, all the times that you fell short. And so you could list it on paper, which I think I'm going to do, honestly. I'm going to do it. And so, with the Jewish people, they do find a body of fresh water. I believe it has to be fresh water, such as a pond or a stream or a lake. There is a lake in Prospect Park, but I'm not sure if my husband's really going to want to make the trip with me. Although he has been so understanding of my interest in this, so that's cool. Also, on Rosh Hashanah, white clothes are worn. White clothes are worn as a sign of purity before judgment. So on Erev Rosh Hashanah, the last day of Elul, after the morning service, according to the Sephardi custom, it is customary to annul vows. Wait, sorry. So we know Jewish people are not supposed to work on this holiday. Another thing, they avoid eating anything bitter, so nothing bitter or vinegary, mostly all sweets. So that's why tonight I'm going to be making the apple honey chicken recipe, and tomorrow I'm going to be making a sweet teriyaki salmon. We're also going to be having the apples dipped in honey. That's a customary part of the meal, and something called simes, and it's so interesting. Apricots, prunes, sweet potatoes, carrots. Um, since the purpose of the High Holy Days is to encourage humility, self examination, and self improvement, Jews of an earlier era decided that leather and other symbols of wealth or privilege should not be worn on this particular day. A lot of Jews do wear white on Rosh Hashanah. They wear new clothes, brand new clothes, everything new for the new year. And it's another tradition to be trying a brand new fruit, a brand new and exotic fruit. So Rosh Hashanah is really all a lot about the fruits, a lot about like a harvest festival type holiday, fruits. Um, we have the dates, we have the figs, we also have the pomegranate. And something fascinating that I learned about the pomegranate is that it has supposedly, according to, I guess, according to legend or something, the pomegranate has 613 seeds or kernels in it. And the reason why it's so special in Judaism, in association with Rosh Hashanah, is because they say there's also 613 mitzvah or commandments in the Torah. So I thought that was really fascinating. Um, the Jews do refrain from partaking in certain activities using electronics, driving, or writing. Let's see. Okay. It is also customary to read the story of Abraham. The story of Abraham from the Old Testament in the Bible, which is also considered the Torah. Let me go to the Chabad.org site, and I am going to share with you guys the story of Abraham. I think it's beautiful that we have that the Jews have this holiday, and I was thinking how surely Jesus must have celebrated this holiday also. Hey, Grateful MC. Hey, hey. Thank you. Thank you so much. I always appreciate you stopping in. You know it means the world to me. Love you. Hopefully one day we can get to talk soon. Yeah, so Rosh Hashanah not only marks the new year, but it also honors the creation date of Adam and Eve over 5,700 years ago. The first relationship and the human connection with God's world. And it's a day to ask for forgiveness and remind yourself not to repeat those same mistakes in the coming year. The apples dipped in honey to symbolize a sweet new year, and the trying of a brand new exotic fruit that no one in the family has tried before, and to symbolize new beginnings and the excitement, the fascination, and the wonder. And then begins the 10 days of awe. And this is all about a time of self reflection, self examination, thinking about your shortcomings, not only where you did wrong, but where you could have done better, and just really taking it all in. So the Jews would go to a fresh body of water and symbolically cast away their sins into the water, and they do it in groups. It'll probably be on the news tonight if you guys watch, probably on your local news. I would imagine they gather in groups, I think, and go to fresh bodies of water. So that would be like a pond, a lake, or a stream. And I think symbolically empty their pockets. Some will put breadcrumbs. I think some would write down their sins. And actually, I don't know if you put the paper in the water, though, because of the animals. It's not good for them. So probably not. Maybe breadcrumbs, or just you symbolically empty your pockets to cast away sins. They also do something with the chicken, that they swing around the live chicken a certain number of times around their head, and it's supposed to cast their sins onto the chicken, so the chicken would have the sins and that they would live, or they would be forgiven. It was an old custom, I guess. Also, guys, for lots of great information, so much information. Um, Aside from Chabad.org, which is CHABAD.org, I encourage you also to check out Frida Wiesel, Brooklyn Tour Guide, here on YouTube. Sonia's Prep. Sonia's Prep is awesome. She's a great cook, and she preps all these wonderful kosher meals and talks so much about their traditions and customs. And she makes beautiful tablescapes. I love watching her. Every time I put her on, the whole day escapes me, and next thing I find, it's 3 to 4 hours later. Mm. And also From It Up, FRUM, From It Up, here on YouTube. Uh, While the holiday might have originated with the Babylonians, the rabbis associated Rosh Hashanah with Jewish meaning as the anniversary of the creation of the earth or of the creation of mankind. Another reason is the importance as Tishrei as the seventh month and therefore the year's Sabbath. I'm so excited to be lighting Shabbat candles tonight for the first time. Ah, Grateful MC. Yes, I hope so. I'm going to be putting out a vlog tonight. I'm going to be putting out a pre-recorded vlog of some of the day's activities of attempting to celebrate Rosh Hashanah for the first time. I'm Catholic, but I'm just so intrigued, and I actually had a deep yearning to do this. So, here I am doing it and sharing it with you guys. And maybe this would be considered. No, not at all, Grateful MC. You would never be an interruption. Stop. Don't ever apologize to me. Yeah. They say, yeah, I'm going to be making a honey cake. I'm going to be making a honey cake. I was wondering if I should put slivered almonds or not, because some say not to have nuts on Rosh Hashanah, although other sects of Judaism say that it's okay. And then some others say just no walnuts. So I might make it plain with no nuts. Not that I need for it to be kosher, but I just want to stick with tradition here, you know? So give me one moment. Oh, red velvet cakes. Now that sounds good. There is an ice cream that I used to love so much, and it was put out by Blue Bunny. I think it was Blue Bunny, yeah. And it was a red velvet cake ice cream. It was the best ice cream in all the world. Definitely recommend that. Blue Bunny red velvet cake ice cream. I'm actually going to have to get some. Thanks, Grateful MC. Let's see. I had it all set and now I can't find it. You know what's really cool too? Is that for years when it's not when Rosh Hashanah is not on Shabbat, they offer a shofar blower to come to your home and blow the shofar for you so that you can hear it because it's a commandment. It's one of the many commandments that must be, you must fulfill as a Jew. On all of these holidays, there are so many commandments that need to be fulfilled. And one of them is hearing the shofar, the blowing of the ram's horn. First 30 blasts are read during the Torah during morning services, and then 70 are blown immediately after the Musaf service. For someone who cannot come to synagogue, the shofar may be blown the rest of the day. If you cannot make it out, you can contact your closest Chabad center and see about arranging a house call. Then the candle lighting. As with every major Jewish holiday, women and girls light candles on each evening of Rosh Hashanah and recite the appropriate blessings. When lighting on Friday evening, be sure to light well before sunset. It says that in Brooklyn, which is where I am, it says in Brooklyn, the time I believe is 6:47 p.m. tonight to light the candles. I'm going to try to have it ready on time. When lighting on Friday evening, be sure to light well before sunset, and then the following night, be sure night has fallen before you light. On the second night, or if lighting after nightfall on the first night, make sure to use an existing flame. Think about the new fruit that you will be eating or the garment that you will be wearing while you say the blessing. Well, Rocky Mountain oysters, I have not, Kimmy Love, and I do know what they are too. I have heard of them, and I would not, could not, and shall not be trying those either. A new fruit, something we have not tasted since the last time it was in season. But a lot of people try a new and exotic fruit. I have Vinny, my husband, out. He's working now, but I told him on his way home if he could try to find a new and exotic fruit. So I'm thinking like a dragon fruit or breadfruit or passion fruit. Well, we've tried passion fruit flavor stuff, but not real passion fruit. We haven't tried dragon fruit or breadfruit. Hopefully, he finds something cool. We're going to have a new and exotic fruit. That's a big main tradition, too. I don't have anything white to wear. I do have a dress. I'm trying to find a certain reading that I wanted to share. Sorry. And I keep not finding it. Well, oh, here we go. 1 second. Sorry, guys. Think I'm getting a sore throat again, honestly. Um, so I'm probably going to end this in a few minutes, I guess. I have shared most of the information that I've gotten with you guys. There's so much more, but let me put in here. Let's see. Right, Kimmy Love. I agree. Shana Tova. Yes, go ask Alice. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate so much all of your comments and information that you shared with me. I've learned so much. Unfortunately, it would take forever to share everything, and I don't have all the information. But I hope that I brought some light to the subject and have been informative a little bit. Let's see here. 1 minute. Shana Tova, a sweet and good new year. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Sorry, I don't know why I'm not finding the story I was looking for. I think sometimes I get nervous and looking right at something and can't find it. I don't know. I'm gonna actually give myself just 1 minute. 1 minute. Yes. Oh, go ask Alice. Please watch the replay. Yes. I hope I covered a lot. I hope I brought some light. Yeah. Yes. I'm gonna be making apple and honey chicken tonight. Go ask Alice with Z carrots, sweet potatoes, dried apricots, prunes. etc., etc. Yes, and then tomorrow I'm going to be making sweet teriyaki salmon, and I'm going to be making a honey cake, and I'm going to show the recipes and pictures of the food and stuff in a vlog later on. Thanks. I wanted to share the story of Hannah. They traditionally read the story of Abraham from the Old Testament, from the Torah. I don't know why I can't find it now. The apples and honey, absolutely. I have the apples and honey just set out, ready, ready and waiting to go. And I have my husband, who is such a beautiful and understanding partner, honestly. My husband, on his way home from work, says he's going to find a candelabra for us so that I can light Shabbat candles. I don't have a shofar, but I heard, yeah, that because it was Shabbat, they don't do it. Oh, so tomorrow night, would they blow it tomorrow night? I heard they didn't. Hmm. And I heard how if you go to Chabad.org, you can find a shofar blower to come to your home because so that you can fulfill the commandments of needing to hear the shofar blown a certain amount of times during the prayer, during the reading of the story of Abraham, Isaac, Hannah, and who was the other one? Oh, sorry. Bear with me. I'm just trying to find certain story. Most all of my information that I got came from Chabad.org. Very informative. They have everything. I highly recommend it. Yeah. The Haftarah, is that what it is? Hmm. Okay. I'm getting close. The Torah is read. Oh, wait. You know, you can log on to beautiful synagogues in NYC. Yes. Oh, yeah. What was the name? Is it Chabad.org on YouTube? I think it is, right? Go ask Alice, where they do the live Shabbat candle lightings, and they did it on Hanukkah. I think it was Chabad. Yeah, yeah. I watched them on Hanukkah light the menorah. It was awesome. Honestly, it was awesome. I love it. I love it so much. Just something about this is just speaks to me and makes me want to learn about it. And I told my husband I do have a yearning to want to celebrate it. And we discussed it so much that I said it's definitely coming from the right place. And I have so much respect and love for the religion, that I hope God understands. Yeah. I know it might not be considered appropriate according to everyone, but I felt it would be inappropriate with this level of wanting to for me to not do it. I know that I think it's okay for me. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely go ask Alice. Uh-huh. That's why I said, I know that it's okay, yeah, for me. It felt more right to do it than not to. So the Torah is read on both mornings of Rosh Hashanah. On the first day, they read about Isaac's birth and the subsequent banishment of Hagar and Ishmael from Genesis 21:1 through 34. Appropriately, the reading is followed by a Haftarah reading about the birth of Samuel and the prophet, 1 Samuel 1 to 2:10. There is a common theme in these readings. Yes, oh my God, go ask Alice. I would so love that. Haftarah is the explanation. This year's practice, next year open your home, make it a ritual with friends. That would be so beautiful. I would love that. I would love to invite people next year. Really, I would. It speaks to me. It speaks to me on such a level that when I was first learning about Hanukkah 3 to 4 years ago, I was watching a lot of specials on YouTube, a lot. And I started crying every time. Every time I started crying, just watching it, learning about it. And I came to my husband and I said, "Listen, I want to celebrate Hanukkah, and I know that we're not converting, and I know that we're Catholic, and I know that it might not be considered appropriate to some, but for me, it is. I have to do it." And we spoke so much about it, and for all the different reasons of why I needed to, and we came to the conclusion that in our home it will be okay. Yeah, thank you. So appropriately, about the birth of Samuel the prophet, then there is a common theme in these readings. Prayers for children were answered, and both births took place on Rosh Hashanah. That's what it was about Hannah, and yeah, the birth of Samuel and the birth Hagar and Ishmael. Yeah, both women had prayed for children. It was prayers for children were answered, and both births took place on Rosh Hashanah. I get so emotional every time. Yeah, and I did pray too for my daughter. It's so funny. I suppose we all pray for our children, but that is really beautiful. My husband's parents too prayed for a long time for him. They thought they weren't going to conceive. They tried for like 10 years, 7 years, I think. On the second morning, we read about Abraham's near sacrifice of his son Isaac, a powerful display of Abraham's devotion to God, which has characterized his children ever since. From Genesis 22 1 to 24. As mentioned above, the shofar blowing recalls the ram, which figures prominently in the story. The Haftarah tells of God's eternal love for his people, Jeremiah 31 1 to 19. Let me see here. No, that's not it. 1 second, guys. There was a story that I read last night. I can't seem to find it now. Let's see. Yeah, and so next we would have the 10 days of repentance. The 10 days. Oh, wait, sorry. Rosh Hashanah is the start of Yamin Noam, the high holidays. The holy day of Yom Kippur, when we gather in synagogue for 25 hours of fasting, prayer, and inspiration, is just a week later. The days in between, known as the 10 days of repentance, or 10 days of return, are an especially propitious time for teshuvah, returning to God. Teshuvah. It's pronounced simis. Oh, simis. Yes, thank you. A story to tell. Simis. Yes, the carrots and sweet potatoes, dried apricot, prunes. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Sukkot is the celebration of the harvest. Sukkot. Yes. Sukkot is when they build the huts outside of their homes and they have dinner in there. Yeah, it's so fascinating. The 10 days of return, and especially propitious time for Teshuvah, returning to God. Oh, I love that. Teshuvah, lit. Oh, sorry. Return, repentance, return to a Jew's true essence. Huh. And the joyous holiday of Sukkot and Simchat Torah. The season of the high holidays is an epic journey for the soul, and Rosh Hashanah is where it all begins. Yes, no, the Simus is your dinner tonight. Exactly. Simus. Yes, yes, yes. Got it. Thanks. Yes. Central Synagogue. Okay. I watched Hanukkah services with Chabad. I believe it was Chabad. I was wanting to share with you guys the story of Hannah. Now we say Hannah, Hannah, and in Hebrew they say Hannah, which is Chan, and I think it sounds so beautiful both ways. I also found out that in Hebrew the name for Eve would be Hava, so Hava, Chava. My daughter Evelyn might be Hav. I don't know, Havala. Isn't that so beautiful? Central Synagogue. Definitely will check that out. Thank you. The Kapora. Years ago, that yes, I was talking about that. Go ask Alice. Yes, the Kapora. They would put the sins onto a chicken and then swing it around your head to rid you of the sins. And then the sins would be cast onto the chicken, so it would be their life for yours. Ha. Hana. 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 Evelyn would be Hannah. Hannah. I actually really like the sound of it. It must hurt your throat to do that, though, huh? It does hurt my throat to do that, although it sounds beautiful. This is all very, very interesting and exciting, and I hope that you guys learned something. I guess I'm going to include the story of Hannah. Excuse me, the story of Hannah in um, in my vlog that I'm going to do later with the recipe for my honey cake. Get you. Oh. Huh. Huh. Yeah. Trying. Trying. All of this is done with very much respect and awe and fascination, guys. I'll share the story of Hannah when I do the vlog later with the recipe for some of my meals and the honey cake. Yeah. And I guess I am going to wrap this up, guys, and I'm going to start preparing to celebrate this beautiful holiday. So, Shana Tova, guys, a sweet and good new year. May everyone take some time this afternoon to do some self reflection and self examination and think of all the times that you fell short, the times that you could have done better, and how you're going to do better in this next coming year. Love you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Shana Tova, Happy New Year. See you later, guys. Thank you.